Trap Lord Ross can't stop getting pressed. Because when you cover the real street wars, emotions don't rest. From online smoke, interviews, and face-to-face threats, this right here is every time that Trap Lord Ross got checked. And now obviously I'm going to be talking about every time that Trap Lord Ross got pressed by rappers. And if you don't know who Trap Lord Ross is, he's a YouTuber who makes documentaries on rappers. And one of the things that I like the most that some of these rappers hate the most, he gets really in depth with his videos. And what's crazy, I actually got the chance to work with Trap Lord Ross. And it wasn't even just me, it was also my friend and editor Janika. Now watch the end and I'll let you know why Trap Lord Ross actually fired me.
You're fired, get out of here.
But first, let's get into the first time that he got pressed for his YouTube videos. And this didn't have anything to do with a Chicago rapper or even an American rapper in general. This had to do with some gang members and rappers that were back in the UK where Trap Lord Ross is from. You see, before blowing up on YouTube, Trap Lord Ross lived right in between two different gangs.
I moved out of Bognor Regis, I moved back to London to an area that was kind of like a known, affiliated with a certain gang in South London, right? I basically lived in an area that was basically between two gangs. Like there was like one gang on one side called like 410, right? They lived right by where I lived. Like the block I lived in was like one of their blocks basically, but it weren't too, it was kind of getting gentrified. And then there was another crew called Moscow 17, and then there was another crew of real dangerous guys from Peckham called Zone 2. And so like I lived in that area and I would see little things going on and I would read about it in the news.
And once he finally made a little money and moved out of there, he dropped a documentary on the gangs in the neighborhood.
That was like 2018. And then when the channel took off and I moved out the area, maybe like 2021, I made a video on that area.
Obviously, some of the UK mandem didn't like this, so they were posting his picture and posting threats of him online.
There was a guy that was like a notorious alleged shooter for this crew, right? And like, he just like posted some mad ominous picture of me on Snapchat. And like when that video dropped, like quite a few of those guys were kind of saying little things about me. One of them was saying that I'm a Fed and posting that I'm a snitch and a Fed and stuff. And then like the UK blog pages like picked that up and were like, oh, Ross has been exposed for being a Fed by this one rapper.
Trap Lord Ross. How about Trap Whore Ross or Trap Culture Vulture Ross? This nigga doesn't even know what the bando or trap means.
Luckily for Trap Lord Ross, this situation didn't amount to much.
At the time, I was being kind of loose. I would post on Instagram like, yo, I got a video about this thing coming. And so that was dumb. I don't do that anymore. But like they found out that I was doing a video that was going to talk about their situation. And then they hit me up kind of pressing me, being like, yo, you shouldn't do that. And it kind of became a bit of a back and forth.
But for Trap Lord Ross, he didn't want to feel like he was getting pressed. So he doubled down on making videos about the UK drill scene.
I didn't want to back down and be like, I'm just gonna get pressed and not talk about it. Because I said to the guy, I was like, bro, you're the top 3 most famous drill rapper coming out of this area. If I don't talk about you, people are gonna think I ain't done my homework. So I can't not talk about
like
you.
on a professional level, like I have to.
So I kind of toned it down and then we went back and forth and squashed it. And I ended up actually meeting up with him in somewhere and we did an interview, but it didn't come out. And there's a lot, I think people want to be tough and press you and shut certain things down. But then I think over time, especially when something drops and it raises someone's profile, they kind of realize like, oh, okay, this is actually a look for me.
They see the benefit of it.
Yeah.
That's when he made this video about Suspect and S-Wavy. Now, if you don't know the story, Suspect, he's a drill rapper from London who literally knocked the guy off and then he fled to a different country. Luckily at the end for them, they squashed the beef. Now, the next person who dropped Trap Lord Ross isn't a rapper. He's a fellow YouTuber, and that's Big Loon from the It's Up There podcast. Now, during an episode of the podcast, he had Trap Lord Ross on, and they had a heated discussion about Trap Lord Ross's King Von documentary. And now, when you watch the clip, you can see Big Loon, he's trying to be like a voice for the streets, but realistically, the stuff he's saying just doesn't make sense. He's saying that Trap Lord Ross cuts out part of the clips to make King Von look worse than he really was.
I don't know that him had been doing all of that, bro, without any conviction of those things. When they say that King Von is one of the realest, or he the realest in the game, these rap dudes do as flawed shit as to give you their phone number and then don't answer the text. These rap... what I'm telling you, they not talking the criminal element that I believe you to be talking about. I'm curious as to how you got to a place where you were able to put all this together and call this guy a serial killer when you went from making content to giving diagnosis.
But truthfully, if you're a fan of this rap stuff and Chicago drill in specific, then you know King Von really was about that life and he put it out there for the world to see. Now, Big Loon was not the only YouTuber to press Trap Lord Ross for his work, because former No Jumper employee Sharp told Trap Lord Ross to his face that he doesn't respect the work that he puts out. According to Sharp, Trap Lord Ross doesn't know what he's talking about because he doesn't come from the streets or the struggle that he mentions in his videos.
I respect you as a man. I don't respect what he's putting out because it's not really him. He don't know. He ain't never came from that shit. He don't even know what that shit feel like. Boy, that shit full of a lot of pain, man.
During the same interview, the co-host asked Trap Lord Ross, does he ever think, what if one of King Von's kids watches this video? And Trap Lord Ross responded, well, they already listen to King Von's music. He also said that he approached the King Von documentary from a fan's perspective.
Do you think about Von's kids gotta watch the documentary one day?
Well, the thing is, it's like Von's kids have got to listen to Von's music where he's talking about he's got 7 bodies already, right? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like, really, like, my thing is, like, I kind of respect where you're coming from, Sharp, because I don't disagree with you. Like, I don't claim that I'm from the streets. Like, I don't claim...
I know you don't.
I don't present myself like, yo, I'm from Chicago and I really know what's going on in Chicago from being involved in that shit. Like, my perspective, and I feel like where I'm trying to come from is truly as like a fan of rap music.
And if I'm being honest, again, I gotta side with Trap Lord Ross on this one. A few moments later, the co-host even tried to suggest that Trap Lord Ross should be giving money to King Von's family. Trap Lord Ross's response was if King Von was doing the same thing for the families of the murder victims.
Get out there and know what goes
Did any of
on.
that money that you made go to Von's family?
Well, did any of the money that Von's made like go to the victims of the people that he allegedly killed?
That
You
ain't
know
what I
I'm
meant.
saying?
We're not talking about that.
No,
We're
but
talking
why
about
should
the
it-
money
why
that
should-
you made off of his name.
But why should the money that I made is from the research that I did about Von. Like, there's a million videos about Von. This is journalism. It's
Is
like,
that a no?
But, no, hell no. Like, why is it my responsibility?
I don't feel like it be journalism. I think sometimes y'all go like borderline bashing.
Now, you guys let me know below, do you think Trap Lord Ross should be donating money to the people that he's talking about? In November of 2024, Trap Lord Ross was pressed by 2 Chicago rappers, and it was actually this situation that got me fired from Trap Lord Ross. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I worked for Trap Lord Ross like about a year ago. If you want proof, go look at some of the videos from this time, and you'll literally see my name and my editor's name in the beginning of the videos as researchers/writers. And I was just starting my long form YouTube video journey around this time, but I made a video about when rappers confronted YouTubers, and I talked about this next situation in it. And before I explain why Trap Lord Ross fired me, I'll play clips of that video right here so you can understand what happened and how he got pressed. First, we're gonna dive into the Trap Lord Ross situation that happened just a few weeks ago, in October 2024, when he took a trip to LA. And while in the city, he would run into Chicago rapper Tay Savage, who Ross actually made a video on earlier in the year. In the video, Ross would make claims that Tay Savage was the original King Von, linking Tay to multiple murders and breaking down the armed robbery that landed Tay in jail. And to some people, this was pushing the line of journalism and straight up police work. Although Trap Lord Ross isn't using any information that isn't already on the internet. But obviously, some people wouldn't take too kindly to this video. And about a month after it came out, Tay Savage would sit down with some No Jumper hosts, where he actually said he tapped in with Trap Lord Ross before the documentary came out, asking to collab on it as he heard it was in the making. According to Tay, Ross agreed, but ultimately just ghosted him. Now, I'm not sure if this is completely true, as Tay Savage would say in an interview, Trap Lord Ross was in contact with his A&R. Either way, 8 months would pass by with no real revelations in the story. That's until October 2024, when Trap Lord Ross went to California, presumably to work and collab with other content creators. And while Ross was out bowling with No Jumper employee Remo, Tay Savage would pull up. And when he got there, he found Ross in the arcade section of the bowling alley, where he decided to have a few words with him.
Bro, like, I'm a fan, bro, at the end of the day. I'm a fan, innit? Like, I'm coming from a respectful place.
Fuck all that fan shit, bro. You doing shit to get us locked up, bro. This our life you playing with.
Bro, like, all this stuff.
Now, what about what fucked you up?
And when Ross would try to explain to Tay Savage that he's just a fan of his music, Tay Savage would say the now famous words, "You're gonna be a victim."
You're not promoting FOS like this out, bro. Don't say nothing about it. Keep us out your, if you're not promoting, don't talk about no fucking birds or none of that goofy shit.
I'm a fan.
But you gonna be victim, what I'm telling you, bro.
Before seemingly reaching in to Trap Lord Ross's pockets. Now, No Jumper employee Remo was the first person to post this, leading fans to believe that he set up the back door for Trap Lord Ross. Luckily, the two men were able to remedy the situation less than 48 hours after it happened. And funny enough, in the video showing that everything was cool, Ross would actually acknowledge the rumor that he was set up by No Jumper's employees.
Hey, I was able to squash the beef, man. Look.
Bully, man. I was taking a picture, man.
I ain't starting.
Hey, listen, man. They said No Jumper backdoored me, man.
And although things were now resolved, there was another artist who had his own problem with Trap Lord Ross. Less than a week after the Tay Savage incident, Chicago rapper Vert would call out Trap Lord Ross, saying that he needs to pay him and his friends for using them in his documentaries.
Hey, Trap Ross, whatever the your name is, boy, look, I don't get no about none of that other shit, dude. Folk, you making all this bread off us, folk. Your ass, oh, boy. Gonna have to come catch you. You owe the game, boy. You owe us, boy. Putting our name and everything for you. Oh, I'm looking at this shit, folk. You gotta reach out to me, boy, before we fuck you up, boy. Ain't nobody playing, boy. We gonna fuck you up. We need that. I ain't doing no playing with you, dude. Get at me right now, boy. Your ass gotta pay something for you. Wanna put all our names and all this hot ass, goofy ass shit. Like, this ain't our life, boy. Like, boy, you do know what you'll do to you, boy? We need them ends. You ain't got long to respond to this. We need them ends.
Even Tay Savage would comment on this post, tagging Trap Lord Ross, saying that not everybody is going to be as nice as him. Ross would then make a comment of his own, saying that he's calling the Chicago Police Department, to which Vert would say that he just wants his money. That's when Trap Lord Ross replied with straight facts, saying that you can't kill people and expect to get paid when the news covers it. And what happens next is probably one of the funniest parts of this story. Apparently, Vert hit up Trap Lord Ross in the DMs, demanding $500, to which Ross replied saying that he can't do that, as he doesn't want the money going to funding the war or Vert's drug habits. Which, if you know anything about Vert and the Bloodhounds, you know that they love their perks. Instead, Ross said he was going to use the money to do something more positive for the city of Chicago, deciding to donate the $500 to the Reduce Gun Violence in Chicago organization, adding the note, "We need to stop violence and spread positivity," saying that the money is for programs and not perks. He even recognized Vert in his donation. Now, if I'm being honest, this was a boss move by Trap Lord Ross, especially since it's a known fact that YouTubers like him and I eat off the stories that come from the hoods we write about. So I think it's really dope that he's giving back to the communities that give to us. And yeah, I was scripting my videos back then. I'm sorry if I sound a little more robotic. But basically, I made this video about YouTubers getting pressed by rappers, and he must have really not liked it because he fired me shortly after that. When he fired me, he told me that it was because of the views or the numbers. But later, I started working for another YouTuber who I'm not going to mention, and he actually talks to Trap Lord Ross, and he asked Trap Lord Ross about me. And Ross actually told him that he just didn't like the fact that I made a video with him in it. So that at least shows that Trap Lord Ross doesn't like for people to make videos about him. In March of 2025, Ross had a short-lived beef with Wack 100. Now, to understand what happened, a Rolling 60s Crip leader, Big U, he got indicted, and Wack 100's name popped up in the paperwork. When Ross looked through the paperwork, he saw that Wack 100 was begging for Big U not to kill him. When Adam22 brought this up, Wack 100 said that was AI.
Almost over. Yo, Wack, what's up with this screenshot that Trap Lord Ross sent me of you begging Big U not to kill you?
That's cap. That's AI.
It's in the indictment.
Only days after Trap Lord Ross exposed Wack 100 for begging for his life, the two had a face-to-face sit-down where Wack confronted Ross. According to Wack 100, Trap Lord Ross doesn't do his homework for real, and he didn't have the full story.
You know I'm allowing you to question me right now, right?
Appreciate it.
Because you did some punk shit the other day. See, the only difference is you usually do what you did the other day sitting over there in London somewhere, right? And you're not here, right? There's a lot of places you can't go. You send Adam something as if it was a clip of something I did I wasn't supposed to do.
No, he sent me a screenshot of a page from the indictment.
Okay, that's cool.
Where Big U was recorded on a wiretap basically saying that he punked you out with a whole bunch of people. And it had a quote that he attributed to you, but it wasn't an actual video or recording. This was Big U's version of events.
Hold on. You're the receiver. So since you read everything, right? Now tread lightly with this.
Because I've been telling myself for the last couple minutes not to really do nothing to you because I know what you was trying to do.
Okay.
So since you so thorough, did you read what Big U said he did to me? No, either you gonna play smart or dumb. Did you read it?
Yes. Can I say one
What
thing?
did you
Can I say one
find
thing in my
there
defense first?
That's the bullshit and the real shit.
But can I say one thing in my defense
I
first?
just want to know what you read.
I feel like stuff that Adam said that he put a source on top of. I just sent him an image of the indictment and said, "Have you seen this?" You went in the room and you said a bunch of stuff.
No, you said in that page.
Added on.
You said in that page. So I'm asking you, just gonna let me know where you at with me.
Now, in my opinion, Trap Lord Ross is way more reputable than Wack 100. For real, Wack 100 is known for lying in a bunch of different situations. Now, one of the most recent times that Trap Lord Ross got pressed was actually by someone in Central Cee's entourage. And it all started in February of 2025 when Trap Lord Ross released a 3-hour documentary titled The Deadly Gang War Behind Central Cee. The documentary was literally a video about the UK rapper that questioned his street authenticity. Although if you watch it, you know he tried to make it come from a place of love rather than critique. Despite this, in October of 2025, Central Cee was backstage of Complex Con, and he was just chilling with DJ Academics when Act told Trap Lord Ross to pull up. According to Central Cee, Trap Lord Ross doesn't say anything factual, and that in the eyes of the law, he's doing Central Cee a favor. When Trap Lord Ross got there, he asked if there was beef, and Central Cee said nah, there's no beef, and even shook him up. Despite this, Central Cee's boy told Trap Lord Ross to leave.
Can we squash the beef, or is it?
Never have beef, man.
Are you sure?
Never have beef.
Come on, I appreciate you, bro. You know I said your album was the best UK album that was ever dropped.
I heard you.
Go outside the booth, and I'll come outside and I'll talk to you outside the booth. Get out the booth.
Is that what it is?
When you want to do that to real people as well, that have real people around them. For me, maybe I'm not even so real. Central Cee, it's an entity, innit? But then there's real people around, man, that you have to be aware of that might have a different outlook. Me, I can see things, I can watch things, I understand, innit? But not everybody can see it the same way.
A bit of time after this whole situation happened, Trap Lord Ross linked up with DJ Academics, and Ross literally told Academics that Digga D is the biggest gangsta in West London, and literally says that Central Cee is a caricature of a drill rapper.
I heard a story that basically said that Central Cee and his manager, when they decided to get into the street stuff, when they decided to get into the street music, they was basically like, yo, we need to have a beef with Digga D, this is going to be viral for us. So it's like, they used the gangster thing to launch them.
Digga D doesn't get on?
Nah, Digga D just got out of jail.
Oh.
And so Central Cee been dissing Digga D for years, but he's been in jail, and now Digga D's back out, everyone's like, yo, is Central going to stand on it? And he a real demon.
So, but you said that he's not a gangster. Like, how you know? Maybe he was stepping.
His whole thing is it's like and I don't mean disrespect by this, but I guess it sounds disrespectful. He's like a caricature of a drill gangster rapper. Like, he basically took all the drill and was like, okay, let me put that on and become the most popping guy doing this, and it worked.
Wait, you trying to say you nigga?
No, I ain't saying. Come on, man.
No, bro, I'm asking. Like,
I ain't saying that. He's not. He's got songs where he's talking about I have someone shot for £100,000. That's not happening.
A bouncer would later show an exclusive voice note from Trap Lord Ross where he calls Central Cee a sweetheart, but says that the people around him show some thuggery to maintain the image that they're trying to portray.
Yes, Aki, what are you saying? So look, everybody's seen the clip going around, all right? I was at Complex Con in Las Vegas. This is like the biggest hip-hop convention in the whole world right now, okay? And look, people were telling me there was going to be a Cinna booth, all right? I was trying to get fresh. I was trying to get my Cinna fit on. I was walking around looking for the Cinna booth for a minute. I eventually see it, and I see my boy Academics over there. That's my man. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to pull up on Axe, see what Axe's saying. And I kind of clock, oh shit, Axe chatting to Central Cee. But I'm thinking, bro, I don't know if it's that serious. I'm out here, I'm not scared. Like, I ain't hiding from anybody. So I was like, fuck it, Axe my man. Let me go over there and see what they're saying. Let me see what Central's saying. And look, to Central's credit, he was actually cool, bro. Central actually showed love, dapped me up. He seemed like he didn't take the whole thing to heart. And he basically said, you did me a favor. And I was like, look, I always thought you guys would want to get that good promo. So Central was calm, but then YB's came over with a bad attitude, man. He was talking about, get out the booth, get out the booth. I'm seeing hella comments, hella little memes, people talking about, get out the booth. So, you know what I'm saying? I said, let me think about if I want to get out the booth, man. So I was just slowly moving around, trying to decide if I wanted to get out the booth. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And he just kept yelling, get out the booth, man. But my security was kind of, letting me do my thing. I wasn't really trying to leave the booth immediately. Now, what you don't see in the live stream is that once we kind of got out the booth, Bello kept coming for me, man. He kept coming at me. And I feel like I stood my ground. So I'm going to drop a clip that shows you what happened afterwards. when me and YB's got face to face. So people are going to see what went on. But honestly, it's all love with Central Cee. He was actually a super nice guy. He was safe. Sweetheart, really. Like, can't fault him. He's cool. He said it himself. He basically said, look, he ain't even got a problem with me. It's his boys. It's them people around him. They're feeling a certain type of way. And maybe they feel like they got to kind of, you know, show a little thuggery to kind of push the image. But it was all good, man. It's nothing but love with Central Cee, man. I told him to his face that his album was the hardest UK album that I'd unheard.
And so yeah, this was a bunch of the times that Trap Lord Ross got pressed for the videos he was making. For the most part, people just say that he's not qualified to be talking about the things that he talks about, while other people like myself feel like if it's on the internet, you should be able to talk about it. But hey, what do I know? And also, Ross, I'm not mad at you for firing me. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and maybe even comment for the algorithm. But if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.